I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Come on with a dank. Scrolling in the tank. Rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up and welcome to World Heavyweights
USA,
Live.
USA.
Steph Curry 9 of 14 from 3 today.
Yeah, it's 5 in the first quarter.
Insane. Dog. Insane. And then Captain America helping lead the boys back.
Down the Embiid had a big fourth quarter.
He already scored like 7 straight.
Yeah, you love to see it. Obviously, they were, it was just Serbia was hot, man. They were hitting everything. We were doubling Jokic, and if you double Jokic, he's going to find the open man every time.
Every time.
He was finding the open man every time. And those little short-ass white Serbians were knocking down every three they were chucking up. So it got ugly. They were down 13 going in the fourth quarter. But they stepped up. Captain America, Steph Curry. And surprise, I think James Edwards put it out there.
What?
Surprise, when you have 3 of the top 15 players in the history of the NBA, an elite floor spacer, and the second best center in the league on the floor at the same time, you're going to have a good team. And that's what it was. When Steve Kerr switched it to Steph Curry, Devin Booker, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Embiid, that's when they went on a run, and that's what the starting lineup should be. Those are the best players on the team, some of the best players in the world, some of the best players in the history of the NBA.
I would have no issue if they took Embiid out and put AD, to be honest with you.
AD or Bam, but I think you got to start Embiid.
Because I feel like with AD, these games aren't close.
I mean, AD was kind of getting worked by Jokic.
He does get worked by Jokic.
He is. You cannot start AD against. If they start AD against France, fine. You cannot start him against Jokic. He is historically Jokic's son.
Yeah.
He got swept by him twice.
Everyone's Jokic's son, though. That's how the game of basketball is. Like great. Like no one's truly stopping like those level of guys. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta compete on the other end and close down the other dudes when they have to kick out.
Hey,
Jokic is too good of a passer, though. He's gonna kick it out to whoever's there for the shot.
There is talk though that Germany has the Steph Curry stopper, and that's Dennis Schroeder.
Germany's out of it now.
Germany's out of it. Yeah,
it's France.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's France.
What an idiot.
Wimby alert.
No, France beat Canada.
France beat Germany.
France beat Germany.
Oh, they beat Germany today. That's right.
Again.
Hey, I was working.
Shout out to Allied Powers. I'm working it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And we'll see what happens. But I think they're gonna have a much easier time with France than they did with Serbia.
I don't know, bro.
I do.
A lot of French NBA players.
Doesn't matter if you
If
have
you
one
watch
ass
that
cheek and
Canada
3
game,
toes. I will beat your ass.
They couldn't even play Gobert. They played him for 3 minutes because he was getting cooked on the perimeter by a SGA.
Yeah.
USA is the only other team in this Olympics that can really exploit Gobert's weak perimeter defense. So, yeah, France won last game because their third string center had an amazing game. But is their third string center of France
Who's
going
it,
to
Daniel
have
Tice?
another? No, it's what's his name? I know it when I hear it. I'm blanking on the name right now. But he had like
Hartenstein's
20
black.
last game. But he balled out.
It's true.
He was awesome. But
It's
that's why USA is not scared.
I think he's got half black. Yeah.
He's light skinned.
His dad or his mom's half black, I believe. They call him bright skin.
My son's like that too. Shout out to Bryson.
Shout out Bryson. Dude, that video you sent today was so funny.
He was pissed.
He was so pissed.
We were driving before I answered that call with you, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, that wasn't fair what you did." I was like, "Life's not fair, son.
You better learn fast."
Yeah. What did I say?
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's exciting to see all of Team USA win there. Hopefully they get the dub against France in the gold medal match. We got a wrestler right now winning, going for the semifinals. He's got a 2-0 lead.
Let's go. I thought they got rid of wrestling.
Noah Lyles choked.
Is a bronze choking?
Yes.
Is the question.
Yes.
That's choking.
When you're talking
Gold
like
is the
that,
standard in USA. Let's be honest.
and when you're talking like that, a bronze is choking, especially
what
when you're
event
not
was
even the highest placing American, and he's talking all that trash.
You know how this guy is when he hates somebody.
I mean, when
he's
Noah Lyles, the guy that won in the 100, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
he got you the gold there.
So
shout out to him.
Bronze in the 200.
Yeah. Yes, he got bronze in the 2, which is his event.
Okay.
Like he hadn't lost a 200 in like 25 straight races. Apparently he's got COVID, but at least he medaled. You like to see that. The guy from I can't even remember the country who won it. It's an African
Jamaica?
country. No, it's oh dude, our wrestler's putting on a clinic right now. But he's insane. He's insane.
Nice.
But we got bronze and silver in the 200, so that was good. Won the 400 yesterday, which was awesome. I don't know if you guys watched that. I love the Olympics. I'm a big Olympics guy, and watching that 400 was so awesome. He was like 5th place and just took off and started going. Eventually caught up and won down the stretch, got the gold. It was awesome. Yeah.
I rewatched for no reason Usain Bolt's the relay race.
Oh, he's insane.
It's just so close,
Yeah.
and Usain Bolt got it. Gone.
Just gone. Yeah.
Gone. Literally insane.
Parker Meadows had maybe catch of the year last night. Nick put out a great tweet of the Tigers being 6-0. Parker Meadows in the lineup after he returned from his rehab stint.
Damn.
So
Let's
take your
go.
shine.
Yeah, I was hype. I didn't see that anywhere. I found it. I was like, this team's been hot as hell when Parker Meadows plays. I said that in the group chat. And I was like, you don't bet against him if Tyreek Skubal is pitching and Parker Meadows is roaming center field. This team showed up last night. That was the greatest catch I've ever seen. And I was watching live at the moment. I was like, let it hang over that fence just a little bit. He's going to get it. He went up there and caught that ball. The Tigers season is so dead. You look for little things to be a win. And last night was one of them in Parker Meadows.
Yeah, he ran a long way to get that ball. The dude's a gazelle in center field, and he ran that thing down, scaled the wall. He's a big dude too, so he got up there.
He made it
full
look like
extension.
easy. He made it look
extremely
Yeah,
easy.
he made it look like a routine play.
Because he's so big, man.
So is he hitting too then?
He is now hitting.
He is hitting well.
That was why he got moved down, correct?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
never was a defense.
So his average was below 100 before he got sent down, or when he got sent down to AAA, and now he is almost at 200.
Closing in at 200. Yeah, he's been hitting the ball
in
well.
6 games.
Yeah.
So he's been on it. He's been on a tear, and it's extra base power as well. In the tweet I sent, I don't know if we have it, but he has a double, a triple, 2 home runs, 19 total bases since he's been back. And honestly, it's been a spark to this lineup, and just a spark to this team defensively as well. And I think that honestly, they could feed off it a lot going down the stretch with some momentum. Maybe they go for a sweep here.
Looks like Stash.
Does look like Stash. I don't know how to score wrestling, but he's up 14-4.
I think a back take is like 2 points. Pen is match. I've never wrestled sport.
I've drunkenly wrestled with a bronze medalist before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the guys from MSU wrestling. I was tight with the wrestling house because they were like on my walk to work.
She's a good wrestling school.
So I'd see them all the time, and one of the guys I used to play beer pong with got a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Spencer Richard Lee.
Hell yeah, cool name.
Oh my God.
3 names though.
14-4.
Yeah.
He's got definitely assassinator.
You like to see that? So Spencer Richard Lee. I don't know what weight class he
Definitely
is.
sounds like a shooter.
Yeah, for sure. He grew up wrestling pigs and horses and shit. He looks corn fed, but he's on the way to the gold medal match. So good for him. Hopefully USA gets another gold there. Love to see us dominating the Olympics again. It was close for a minute.
Yeah.
And then the track and field hit, and that's where we make our money. That's where we make our money. And we started busting off golds like it was our job.
Shout out. I had this in the news for a minute, or in our prep sheet, I should say. Alex Pereira, did you see any of that by chance? There's a girl that he went out with, I guess, during UFC 302.
Yeah.
But I know she's deleted her post since. He's been accused of
Grape.
Yes. Yep, SA. But she deleted the stuff. Nothing's progressed since then. She's also an OF content creator.
I don't want to speak on this.
I know.
I
I
don't
didn't
like-
want to either. Yeah.
I don't. These are uncomfortable
No,
topics for me. I don't like. It's fucked up when because either it's one way or the other. It's either you're a piece of shit or you're a piece of shit. Like
People making the edits and saying all the it's like you don't know what happened.
Yeah,
You can't be doing or saying any of this yet. We gotta relax.
definitely gotta relax.
Rest up on that thing.
Walk around caked up on a Thursday like that. God damn.
But yeah, I'm gonna wait for everything to come out. If he did it, he's a piece of shit. If he didn't, and she accused him of it, she's a piece of shit. But I don't know. I don't know the truth.
Let time be the judge. Yeah, we don't
let time be the judge. It's not something that I'm okay with. So hopefully all parties are okay, and hopefully nobody was really hurt in any situation, and this blows over, and it wasn't true, and that's the end of it.
Speaking of the opposite of the end of things, Detroit Lions preseason starts tonight.
Yes.
And you guys are in for a pregame show. We just get a little bit of the other stuff out of the way.
Let's go.
I just walking in. When situations like this, because I very much like you guys, I'm sure too, excited about it. Even though it's preseason, but this one I am excited. We get to watch Hidden Hooker finally play. We get to watch Ennis Rakestraw. I got to find out what's going on with Terry and whatnot, because I know he had a little stinger this week. He passed the concussion protocol. He's already a starter, already down a DB. He's got to get some reps in, though, right?
I say no. I wouldn't play him. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't. I would not. I want to see Rakestraw. I want to see Rakestraw out there, but definitely I would not play Terrion right now.
I would not play Terrion either.
No?
I would not mind if I do not see Terrion in this game. Obviously, there's still a couple weeks, but yeah, week 1, first game, he's already a little banged up. He's got the stinger. I'm good on seeing Terrion out there.
Plus the Giants, after all the fighting this week, there might be a cheap shot or two in this game. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. There's been so much animosity between these two teams in the first 2 matchups on the practice field. These teams are going to try to hurt big time hits in this game, I think, even though it's preseason. Guys are going to be out there going for some big hits.
Yeah.
We get to, I guess, finally get to see the receiver competition.
The receiver competition, the kickoff competition. Hopefully,
there is one.
Hopefully,
Kicker Jake Bates still the only kicker on the
kickoff.
roster. Oh, kickoff.
Well, sorry, kick return competition. Yeah. Hopefully, we get to see Jake Bates out there. Hopefully, he has a good performance. I'm excited to see Giovanni Manu get some snaps. I'd like to see that. See how he's looking.
Darius Fountain we'll finally get to see. Or you guys will finally get to see. I've been in a few practices, but I think this is where he's really gonna have to stand firm on what he's gained already.
Oh,
because now the lights are on. Now they want to see what he's able to do. We got all that stuff and break it down for you guys, as well as some predictions for tonight too. All that good stuff. And New York Giants, you excited to see? I don't know.
Shotgun guy take a pants off.
Is Neighbors gonna play?
No, Neighbors isn't playing.
Neighbors is probably not gonna play. No.
I think did they say Daniel Jones is gonna play?
No, he's not playing either.
Sam Darnold is gonna play.
Nice.
For the Vikings?
For the Vikings.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I think every day this week we've mentioned Darnold and JJ.
I saw Vikings fans praying on his downfall.
On Darnold's?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, my God.
That's crazy. Is there official, who's playing and who's not playing for the Lions yet?
I don't think so.
I know Jared Goff's not. I know. I'm assuming a lot of our veteran offensive linemen.
I would be pretty confident to say that 95% of the starters don't play in this game. On offense and defense.
Vaki's a good one we get to watch.
Vaki will be fun to watch.
Cleve Raymond, Antoine Green. I'm excited to see Antoine Green. Who is? We'll get to when we get back. I want to know who you guys are most excited to watch. I have my answer.
Shout out the chat for the Gillette commercial thing. Let's get a sponsor going. I shaved for the first time in 10 months, basically. I had a bad incident last Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Thought I had a pretty bad scar. I didn't know, so I had to shave because I have a wedding coming up in a month. Needed to see if I could pull it off. Shout out. Detroit Mario will be back.
Shout out.
Let's go.
Why didn't you just rock the beard at the wedding?
Everybody else is clean shaven in the groom's party, so it's I already did it once, taking pictures. Yeah, we'll see. We'll get to it. That's and we're not addressing it again, but there we go.
Not gonna lie, you might get cooked.
You might get cooked?
No, Lions might get cooked.
Who cares?
What?
I don't give a shit.
Don't care.
The fight of these players.
I do not care.
But, they got 2 solid backup quarterbacks.
I don't care about the results of a preseason game. I just care about watching player development.
All right, guys, when we get back, we are breaking down the Detroit Lions preseason game. But first, We got to tell you about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. They have thousands of Planet Fitnesses throughout the world, and you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training with no extra cost. You want all the perks, you can upgrade to the Black Card and get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, massage chairs, all that good stuff. For more information, join today or visit your local Planet Fitness at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Are you guys dealing with divorce, child custody, or visitation, or any other family law issues? Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law have your back. Just tell them the heavyweights sent you, and they will pay your filing fees. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law, 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Just contact them at 248-971-0476 or scan the QR code above my head.
What up, though? Welcome back. Tonight we get to watch Henry the Hooker grace the field.
Football is back.
Lots of slanging and banging going on tonight, boys. Looking forward to it.
We got the show breaking down a little bit. One portion, defenders you're looking forward to seeing. I could have put offenders we're looking forward to seeing. Not looking forward to see defenders, so I switched to offensive players. Also, just X and O stuff we have in there too, like expectations. I don't know how much, I guess, to dive into that, Smitty, just because how much of their game plan are they truly revealing in this preseason matchup that they've already practiced against this team multiple times?
I don't think they're going to give up too much of the game plan, but one thing that I am going to have my eye on is the defensive line, because this is a new era of defensive line play for the Detroit Lions. This is the Terrell Williams defensive line. I want to see how they work, what they do. I want to see the versatility. Is there stunts? Is there switching? We've heard a lot from Levi Onwuzurike. I'd like to see him in multiple positions. I want to see how aggressive they are at the point of attack. Are they over pursuing? That is a big thing I'm going to look at when it comes to position groups. I think defensive line and cornerbacks are the guys I'm going to have my eyes on the most, because those are the two new voices you have in the locker rooms. You got a new secondary coach and you got a new defensive line coach. So I want to see if there's any change in philosophy between those position groups.
I'm with you there. Like I said, I don't know how much of the philosophy we're going to see, but like just the difference in the players. Stuff I've already seen in camp, stuff I've already reported to you guys, the defensive line, the secondary as well too. But like it's generally deep. Like the team is deeper than it's ever been before. The defensive line, like you go into like Levi Onwuzurike is the guy I said. I think it was last night or 2 nights ago on the other guy's show. I said, maybe set that line at 5.5 on the sack count. But that's I'm excited to see the defensive line, the depth of it. Obviously, there's some position battles going on there too, but a lot of names we've heard, and I just want to see them actually in action. And I feel like even in a base plan for the defensive line, you're constantly attacking that quarterback, and that's just how it's going to be. The secondary, I don't know, and it's probably the bright spot. But we'll get to specific players, I guess. Scheme-wise, Nick, what are you looking forward to seeing?
I think you guys hit it with the defensive line specifically, but on the offensive side of the scheme, I think one of the things that I kind of got to yesterday a little bit is how is Ben Johnson going to, kind of operate with Hendon Hooker? He's never had a quarterback that's actually mobile in his offense. I wonder, because it is a different offense with Hooker, I would think that you obviously are not going to see the same plays or any of the specialty plays on like a 4th and short that you would see in a normal game. But I think maybe a couple, design, get Hendon Hooker out of the pocket a little bit, let him show off some mobility in this game, maybe find some guys open deep downfield after he's hit on a couple of those short passes. That's what stands out to me the most. How is Ben Johnson, the mastermind, going to incorporate a kind of a mobile quarterback for the first time?
Yeah. Honestly, I think Sutfield gets the start, but he'll be out of there early enough to where majority of the game is going to be Hendon Hooker because they do want to see what they have in Hendon Hooker. I didn't want to talk about the players, but I posted a 13-minute highlight of every single one of Hendon Hooker's touchdown as a Tennessee Volunteer today.
Oh, my bad.
What?
I got to the immediate offensive player on the Hooker.
No, you're good because there's so many other people to talk about that. Like we could talk about it. I feel like, or at least, how long do you expect Sutfield to play before you get Hooker?
Not a long time at all. I don't want to see him in the game much at all. I don't want to see him in the game for a quarter even. I'll give him a couple drives. Like I said, what are you going to learn from Nate Sudfeld playing in a preseason game? There's not much you can learn from him. There is not much that he can show you that you don't already know.
You are trash!
So, yeah, I'm not too worried about seeing Nate Sudfeld out there.
I think he probably gets a quarter. And that's the beautiful part about this, too, is I think they know what they have in Sudfeld enough after having him last year, this year a little bit, too, now, that, like, you can afford Hooker some time with the second stringers versus only, like, allowing him reps with those third guys. Because in my opinion, and it may end up just being the third guys, but I just don't think that's fair in the quarterback competition just because of the difference offensively on the offensive line specifically versus even those second stringers. It's bad. And, like, his trouble right now seems to be just reading the field. And if you have defenders in your face immediately, it's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, I guess that is the part where I'd be a little bit worried for Hendon Hooker in his first game reading. And, maybe it is a second or third string NFL defense, but it's still NFL players compared to college. And if he is getting under a lot of duress, that could make him look pretty bad in this game. But I would like to see him kind of get out of the pocket a little bit, let him show off some athleticism that we really haven't seen too much from the quarterback position in Detroit. Jared Goff is a pocket passer. We all know that. He stands strong, puts the ball where it needs to be. We don't really see him out of the pocket ever. So I'm excited to see that in the quarterback in Hendon Hooker.
DNC ENT says, lighten up, Spenny. Fuck. No. I don't care about Nate Sudfeld.
Hell no.
I know what Nate Sudfeld is. A preseason game is not going to change who he is. This team knows who he is. The coaching staff knows who he is. I want to see basically an entire game of Hendon Hooker. This is going to be his first snaps as an NFL player. I want to see him a lot. I don't care about Nate Sudfeld.
That is a great question. I think it's on ABC. Typically it's on Fox, but I feel like I've read it was on ABC. Am I wrong, Nick?
I can confirm right now for you.
I'm looking online.
Our Vandalay says, bring Nick Foles home. Spartan Dog.
He's retired
Just
today.
retired.
Bring him home. Spartan Dog.
Retired today.
He was Spartan Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Did he transfer after?
Yeah.
Okay, where did he transfer?
I'm not sure. I know he
Oregon,
played.
maybe? I don't know.
I know we had him in that nasty-ass quarterback room with, like, him, Brian Hoyer, Kirk Cousins. He transferred to Arizona.
I'm trying to find where the game's at. I guess.
I was.
Find that one.
I was watching USA Wrestler lose. That's why I looked a little upset. It was whack.
Fox. It's on Fox.
Yeah,
Everyone's saying in the Woodward Sports Chat. Shout out to you guys.
That's why I looked upset. Is because USA just lost in wrestling. Shout out to
donation.
Cody Roeder. He says, currently at work. Any good options to watch the preseason game tonight? Love the show. Keep it up, guys.
Cody, DM me on Twitter. I'll give you a site.
Appreciate you, Cody.
I'm not going to
Shout out,
myself
Cody.
on the microphone.
Yeah.
Send him a DM.
Yeah, shoot me a DM. I got you.
Wow,
it rhymes with Beam Beast. I'll say that.
I have no idea what that is.
No clue what you're talking about.
No clue at all.
Yar!
What?
Pirate.
Why?
He's pirating this.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh, I got you.
This is what you do.
That's a good
Shout out Pirate Bay. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh, gee. I got a Danny Brown album.
Dude,
off
I
Pirate
got
Bay.
so many albums off of Pirate Bay.
Actually,
But
when it comes to this defensive scheme that you guys think we're gonna get tonight, do you guys want to see them like kind of really dial up some pressure when it comes to starting the game off like that, or do you think they come off a little bit conservative?
I think they come off conservative. I'd rather see them not blitz as much. I want to see the linemen get work, the defensive linemen rushing 4. I want to see the wisdom of Terrell Williams on these guys. I want to see Levi Onwuzurike and what he can do going up against inferior competition. If we expect him to be a factor going forward, he better go out there and dominate against the second stringers. I'd like to see James Houston get a lot of run here. I'd like to see Matthew Betts get a lot of run here. See what those guys can do. Broderick Martin in the middle of that defensive line. I think you need to let those guys eat by themselves before you start dialing up any pressure.
I thought we were staying away from the names.
I had like 3 of those guys on my list.
Yeah, Jesus. Fuck it. I guess we go to the. I mean, we got. Can we go early, come back, and do names?
Yeah.
It's so hard to do without like just saying like specific names.
I mean,
I'll allow it.
All right. Tell us about Feldman Chevrolet.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Wake up. Woodward Sports has a new morning show every single morning. When you wake up, make sure you're putting on Wake Up Woodward. It's the best morning show in America. You know who it's with. It's Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG, and Juices every single morning.
Be sleepy, but you don't have to be.
Wow. Every single morning. Shout out Flannel, you're the best. Wake up with Woodward.
Shout out MPWMU.
Shout out.
It's called HPV University. The more you know.
I heard Arizona State is where you go if you want to get some HPV.
The hoes are definitely in Arizona.
Dude, that's why I'm trying to go to the College World Series one year. Because you seen the bitches out there, dude? Those Florida State girls.
What?
Florida State girls.
Are you saying go to Omaha, but all of them make it?
What?
Isn't the College World Series in Omaha?
Yeah.
But all those teams are in there.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, dude. Have you watched the College World Series? The girls out there, man.
I watched a lot of it last year.
Those Florida State girls.
Skeens versus Langford.
Those Auburn girls, dude.
What a banger. Who won? Who got the better of who in that?
Skeens.
Yeah, Skeens.
I think Langford hit a homer in the World Series. I think that's part of the whole aura why I got so.
Where'd Skeens go to school?
LSU.
Okay. All right. Anyway, finally we actually talk about players.
A lion.
3 offenders. Aaron Hernandez.
R. Kelly.
No, I was kidding. I'll start defense. That's what I'm most excited to see. That's where the Detroit Lions need to improve the most. That's where some of these guys may actually crack a rotation, as we talked about yesterday. Those defensive lines just keep the bodies fresh. This is a name where I didn't have high expectations, but you guys did. So much so where I'm finally ready to see it. Matthew Betts. Now I don't know if he's gonna make the team, but if I'm gonna be wrong, I feel like tonight he's got to make a splash.
Yeah, no, you're definitely going to have to see Matthew Betts go out there. He needs to win a spot in preseason, not a starting spot, not anything like that.
Yeah.
He needs to win a spot on this roster in preseason. He needs to go out there and show that he can at least shine against the backup tackles. And, yeah, Matthew Betts is a good one to start for sure. I think that he has an uphill battle to climb, but with the injury to Kaminsky, that definitely opens the door a little bit. So hopefully Matthew Betts can take full advantage of that injury, go out there and win a spot.
I think he's going to get an ample amount of playing time tonight to earn that spot. But everything I've heard out of camp, I don't really expect Matthew Betts to have a big game here. I don't know. Like, he's going to have to kind of go against the odds here.
The big white truth.
The big white truth has to do it tonight. Yeah, I don't really have any expectations for Matthew Betts to kind of shine tonight.
I don't either. I just want to see him, though. I just want to see...
kind of see him in action in some one-on-ones, maybe.
Yeah, because a lot of people were, like, just talking crazy about the guy. And to be fair, he did dominate the CFLs, and maybe there's something there. So,
Chris, how do you feel about Matthew Betts?
I think he's a smart bet.
To do what?
All right, moving on.
All right.
No, I think he's good. I think he's good. I think he's good to make the roster. I really do. I think that's a position in need, and I think when you look at, some of the people around him, particularly James Houston, guys that haven't impressed. I mean, you want extra help in that room. So I think he's there for now.
My first player, I'm going to press the easy button that I want to see, and I expect to play a lot of minutes out there, is Ennis Rakestraw. Mm-hmm. I want to see him being that guy that we saw in practice once he puts the pads on. And Ennis the Menace, can we dead that? That's whack.
Horrible.
It's bad.
And I know he's had it a while. He said he's been called that.
Yeah, don't be a menace. Nope. And, a Dennis the Menace. No, Rakers Island is what it should be. Rakers Island. I want to see
Is that taking over Revis though?
Yeah. What do you mean? He's a corner.
Revis retired though.
Revis retired,
True.
and it's Rikers Island. Rakers Island.
It's got double meaning. You got the island part of it that's locking it down, and then a prison
put people in jail.
Like Rakers Island.
Adam ranking receiver.
No wide receiver.
Okay. Don't ever mention that with a Detroit Lion again in your life, please.
No wide receiver wants to be sentenced on Rakers Island. And this guy, I want to see him out there being that dog, being that guy we've seen, showing why he's fighting for a starting role in this defense. Not just minutes, not a roster spot. Showing why he felt so disappointed for not going in the first round, being that Brian Branch 2.0 of last year, of a first-round talent who fell to the second round. Mm-hmm. I expect him to go out there. I expect him to put on a show. If they even throw the ball his way, I expect him to get a hand on it.
Either the hand on it, whether it's in the receiver's hands knocking it out, or just in the air, whatever. The brand of football I saw him playing, maybe might draw a little bit flack, but if not, if we get to respect the referees, because like one of the big dogs now, let him play his style. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Ennis Rakestraw is a very physical guy, off the line, down on the top of the stem of routes. Like he's enjoying to watch. The first days in pads, he came to life. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw that. If you follow Colton Pouncey, you saw those same reports, and yeah, we could see it in action tonight.
Obviously, everybody around wants to see the cover skills, but when we drafted him, we knew the physicality that we were getting and how he plays. All we've been hearing all camp is how Ennis has looked great. And it reminds me a lot of last season when people were saying a lot of the same things about Brian Branch. You guys remember Brian Branch in that preseason game absolutely lay the body, and that's what we were going to come to expect out of a guy like Brian Branch? If there's a ball around the line of scrimmage and a player, and Ennis is hitting them with the closing speed, I want to hear a pop, and I want to see it from Ennis Rakestraw tonight. Set the tone, and that's what I think Ennis is going to do.
Yes, sir. If Terrion plays, obviously, same thing goes for him. Are we expecting him to play? I know what you want, but are you expecting him? Like, what are your expectations? Is he going to play or not?
Terrion?
Yeah.
I don't expect him to play. First week of preseason, he's already got that spot, I feel like, on lock, and he's a little banged up with a stinger. I don't think they put him out there.
I think it would be good for him to get some snaps in the preseason game, but I do not think that he will play in this game. I think it would be good just get his feet wet, get some actual time, in a game setting compared to just practicing against another team. But I don't see this coaching staff putting him out there after Emmanuel Mosley already got hurt.
Wilson says, except Rikers Island's in New York, so it doesn't work. This ain't New York.
Yeah.
This is Rikers Island, not Rikers. Rikers Island resides here in Detroit.
Rikers Island is in Detroit.
And you can pack it up, take it on the road, too, if we're visiting. And so I guess tonight it will be in New York, yeah. Okay, obviously if Terrion plays, yes, him. How about Broderick Martin? A guy I'm excited to see just because he's obviously did the work to trim down his body.
Yeah.
I just want to see if he's able to actually play that nose position. He's fell down the depth chart to Kyle Pico, which I know that caught some people by surprise. But if you listen to Dan Campbell through some of these press conferences, he still sounds like he's going through a little bit of development. But I want to see if he's made the strides. Broderick Martin, we didn't get to see a lot of him last year. Now, preseason, game 1, give me some Broderick Martin.
Yeah, I'd like to see that a lot. I'd like to see the body transformation. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully the tutelage that he's gotten already from Terrell Williams is helping him, keeping his pad level low, getting off the ball well. And again, this is a guy that was drafted high for a reason. I expect him to be a handful for these second-string guys, for these guys that aren't going to be starting for the New York Giants. I expect him to go out there and to have his way with those interior defensive linemen of the New York Giants. So I would love to see Broderick out there having a good game.
Yeah, I think the expectations for Broderick this year was that he was going to take a pretty big leap after he was a developmental piece that Brad Holmes took as high as the 3rd round last season. And we haven't really heard too much coming out of camp about Broderick. And, obviously the body transformation. He was pulling extremely heavy machinery. But I want to see some big run stuffs from Broderick in this game. That's what we drafted him to be. Big body in the middle, helping out his teammates, getting some run stuffs. That's what I would love to see in this game from Broderick, specifically stopping some runs. And I'm extremely intrigued about Broderick specifically.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the biggest guys that I want to see in this game succeed.
I
Absolutely.
agree. That was one guy that we didn't talk about enough when we were talking about Jack Campbell. We were talking about, just people we were looking at defensively, and I get it because he is, at this point, a depth piece, but he could be a very, very important depth piece. I mean, we talk about it all the time, especially now with the injuries to the backfield. It is even more imperative that you are constantly getting pressure from that defensive line to help alleviate those corners. So this is a guy that could be a huge depth piece for us going into the season.
I just hooked up Cody. Oh, it won't send. Instagram's hip.
Damn.
Instagram's hip. Another name on my list, and you guys should know this is going to be at the top of my list. I should have started with it. Mekhi Wingo.
Yeah.
A guy we drafted late. A guy I'm super excited to see play. I've said it a million times beforehand, but if you haven't heard before, his 10-yard split, which is how you kind of measure a lot of these defensive linemen in the combine if you're looking for something there, whether it's on the edge or in the middle, is amongst the top 10% of NFL pass rushers. I'm talking about the Aaron Donalds, Kalijah Cansey. Now Kalijah Cansey's done much yet, but I think he projects to be really, really good, especially next to Vita Vea. We got the big body next to Mekhi Wingo and droves at this point, too, between Levi Anzarike, DJ Reader, and hopefully Broderick Martin comes along. But I guess the caliber of player I believe that Mekhi Wingo can be, I think is going to flash tonight. He is good off on the ball. He's a feisty little motherfucker. I think he's going to get this quarterback. I might even put him down for a sack or a pressure for damn sure, Mekhi Wingo.
Yeah, it's somebody I want to see as well. We haven't heard anything from him at camp. He hasn't been popping out on tape, so hopefully when he goes up there and he's not going against, the Lions' offensive line, he can use his quickness, he can use his speed. This is a guy who has been the best dude at his spot every time he's stepped on the field up until now. And now he is up against it, being a newcomer, being a rookie, being undersized compared to these behemoths that play in the NFL. So I would like to see Mekhi Wingo have a good game. That would be very, very good to hear.
Yeah. And he's coming off the edge now, too. They're playing him on the inside. They're playing on the outside. And I know you probably have read too many stories about him, although I think Doc might have had to like a one-on-one with him or something like that. But he's making plays in camp. It's just against the third team. He's not really getting reps against the first team. Although, actually, when I was there that one Tuesday, no, that was the second team still, if I'm not mistaken. But Mekhi Wingo, what are your expectations of him tonight, and what would you like to see, Nick?
You hit on it with some pressures, because that's what we heard about. He is a little bit undersized, and that's probably why he went so late in the draft, is because he is undersized compared to actual big offensive linemen that play in the NFL. But the thing that stands out to me with Wingo is he is a late pick. And we've seen Brad Holmes already hit on one of his late picks that we thought maybe it was a flash in the pan. Maybe it wasn't. and that's what I go to it. Can he get another guy that can contribute like a James Houston? Is that who Mekhi Wingo is? Or is he going to be, fourth string, maybe not really getting playing time when it comes to the regular season? Do you have expectations that he can find his way into the rotation this year?
No. I think in pass rushing downs, yeah. Mekhi Wingo, I really do. I mean, I could be wrong in that, but he's flashed that at the SEC level. LSU is no joke. He wore the number 18 there, which is like in LSU lore is equivalent to the Michigan 1. I do think Mekhi could see some snaps this year. And the reason why I want to start with defense here, again, like these are guys, although reserves, defensive reserves see the field. It's not like the offense where you're trying out the same offensive line every single time. Where you're trying out majority. I guess sometimes you see other receivers fill in here and there, but like defense, you'll see reserves, especially along the defensive line. So yeah, I think Mekhi will get some play this year one.
Yeah, the second guy on my list that I'm looking out for that I really want to see out there is James Houston. Because we haven't heard much from him at camp. We expect him to be that guy that we saw in his first stint before the injury where he was a demon when it comes to pass rushing. And I don't really need to see him winning pass rushing snaps because I know he can do that already. I know he can do that against the ones. I know he can do that in the NFL. I'd like to see James Houston out there in obvious rundowns. I'd like to see James Houston out there setting the edge, containing a running back, doing different things that'll get him on the field more when it comes to actual meaningful NFL games. So we know he is a demon when it comes to attacking the passer. We know he has that innate ability to get to the quarterback. I'd like to see him working on things that he isn't strong at, working at things that he isn't just one of the best on the team at.
It's a perfect time.
Go out there, put him on a 2nd and 3. So I could see him try to stop a run, set an edge, do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because I know specifically defensively and just, at every position, football is the ultimate team sport, so you have like special assignments, but it just, I could be way off on this, and I'm obviously not there every single day, but it just feels like this kid has a special feel for the game. Like, I know they didn't see a lot of PT, but even when he was playing at linebacker that first year, I don't know if you guys remember that play against Justin Fields where he was in coverage.
Elite closing.
It was phenomenal, bro. But it was just, that's not an assignment that he had. He was dropped back in the coverage. Noticed that Justin Fields was making a play, and he stood up and he was the one to make a play. Like I don't know, man. I really want to see him earn his way to a lot more PT. I truly feel like he could be something special. I don't think I'm the only one. I know, Nick, you feel that way too.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the opposite of Spenny. I want to see what he does great. I want to see him do it great tonight. I want James Houston to come out, show why he is a dominant pass rusher in this game against guys that aren't going to be starting in the NFL. I want to see him have at least a sack. My expectations, I think he can get up to 2 sacks if he plays enough snaps in this game against a backup tackle if they let him on 2nd and long and 3rd and long. I think for this team to reach its peak, it's going to have to be Aiden Hutchinson on one side, James Houston on the other, and absolute disruption in the middle from Reeder and Aleem. I've seen the speed. I want to see it again. We haven't seen it since his first year, or kind of the Kansas City game a little bit when he almost wrapped up Patrick Mahomes last season. But I want to see the elite speed that we saw in his rookie season shine through tonight, because even if he doesn't play first down, I'm okay with that. If he never plays a first down in my life, that's okay with me. But if he can still be elite, getting to the passer, the quarterback, I think there is still a place for that in this team, and I think it's an extremely important piece that we still don't know if we have yet.
Chris, you've been campaigning for a big year for Houston.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I think you nailed it when it comes to just seeing him do the other things, because we know what he does. He wins reps against the ones, like you said. So to me, you're right. It's about, can he make the right plays in obvious run situations? Can he do those things? Because that's what's going to keep him on the field. Ultimately, to me, though, I look at the James Houston thing as less on Houston. I'd like him to obviously improve so he gets on the field more. But it's more, to me, I'm looking at it, are the Lions actually going to break that mentality, that cultural mindset that they have of versatility, and just utilize this man's very obvious elite skill set? So to me, I'm more so fascinated on, are the Lions going to actually bend that rule or break that rule for him, rather than if he'll actually develop? Because truthfully, I don't want to write him off, but he hasn't given me anything so far to give me confidence in in the fact that he can progress in these areas that they want him to progress.
That's fair. We do got to go to break. We'll be back with 3 offenders that we are looking out for the entirety of the preseason, not just this game against the Giants. But first, let me tell you about Guardian. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night. No Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security as technology has been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary, guys, where you need to go. Scan the QR code. You can save up to $10 on any purchase of $25 or more. There's over 6 locations across the great state of Michigan. That's why they're your local cannabis plug, Dispo Dispensary. Make sure you're 20 up and older to participate.
8-part tipper deck.
8-part tipper deck. What up, there? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Ahead of the Detroit Lions preseason game, the first of the year. We're going to talk offense. We got some more defenders to get to, Nick. You made a list yourself. Who you got?
This first one is, I think he's going to get some playing time. We've seen him do well in preseasons before, but he never got the snaps last season like I wanted to see. His brother was a first-team All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year. It's Stephen Gilmore, fellas.
Nice.
Do you think Stephen Gilmore will show up in this game? And does he have an actual chance to make this roster and actually get playing time for this Detroit Lions team?
I don't know about playing time, but he's definitely got a chance to make the roster now, especially with the injury to Emmanuel Mosley. That's a guy that was fighting for a roster spot already, even with Emmanuel Mosley on this team. So to have Emmanuel Mosley now miss that, you open the door, much like the Kaminsky injury, to a guy like Stephen Gilmore, who has been in this system now for a year. He knows what Aaron Glenn expects out of the team. He had a good showing in preseason last year. So throughout the season, throughout the preseason, with all of these games, Stephen Gilmore is going to get a lot of run. He's going to get a lot of time to prove that he deserves a roster spot. He's going to get a lot of time to prove that he deserves to be a piece of this defense. And I expect him to take it running. Like I said, I liked what I saw out of him in preseason last year, and I think he'll continue it this year.
Love what I saw out of Stephen Gilmore last year in preseason, and then camp this year. And it wasn't against a first-team receiver. I understand that. But it was against Maurice Alexander in the 1v1 drills. Jammed him off the line. Didn't even allow him to get his route off. Like the point, like everyone was just looking at the coaches like, is he still going to run the route? Like, he's jammed him into the fucking ground. I don't know what it is that he lacks to get, not PT, but just make the roster. I mean, last year, you had every reason to give him PT. I feel like we were kind of depleted at the cornerback position. Ended up we going and grabbed freaking Dorsey out of nowhere. Or no, not Dorsey. Vildor out of nowhere. So I'm really curious. I wish I could have these conversations with AG or I guess the Shea Towns at this point, but he wasn't here last year to answer that question. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what this kid does. I think he's made a step forward just from what I've seen in camp. And yeah, tonight him and Ennis, I really feel like I think he's going to be quarterback 4. For this team on the outside.
I'm extremely excited to see him tonight because we've seen it before in past preseasons. Like you said, I wish you could get a look at what is going through Aaron Glenn's mind where he doesn't get a shot in the regular season. I mean, I think that's the biggest cornerback I'm excited for because I already know. I just have this gut feeling Rakestraw is going to ball out, and I don't think Terrion's going to play. So I'm excited to see Gilmore really kind of take his next step up, see if he can get some turnovers from these New York Giants quarterbacks. But the last one on defense I wanted to ask you guys about, who do you guys think even plays out of this linebacker group? Do you guys think Malcolm gets snaps in this game? Like who's going to be the backup linebackers here?
I think Jack might get a few reps too.
I do
really?
Too. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Last year, he played the will. Ansel played the mic. This year, I guess it's switching up. Like Jack's playing the mic. Anzo is going back to like his roots at the will linebacker, and I just feel like he may need a couple starts, couple looks at that spot. DNC ENT, I want to give credit to because I think he said this earlier. And when you guys were talking about Jack Campbell on BDE, just like where do you see the jump from? And DNC mentioned like sometimes the middle linebacker spot, it's your brain as well, and that's not necessarily something you're going to see on the field. It's just him calling the play,
processing the play,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
putting
whatever
people in the right
corrections he needs
position.
to be exactly
Moving the defensive lineman around.
And in the Detroit Lions defense, it's been the safety. I know initially they wanted that to be the safety position to do so. I think they're doing the same just in the secondary where the linebackers calling out because he's close to the defensive line, especially in the road visiting. It's loud as hell in there. You probably want your linebacker because he's in the middle between the secondary and the defensive line. I think he may need to see some reps there. But no, I definitely expect Malcolm. Jalen Reed's Maven. There's that kid we brought in from Dallas who actually has made a few plays in camp. Again, against the second team and third team, but even sacks and whatnot. I think it's something Malik Jefferson. I could be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
No, I could expect Jack to play.
I just saw a tweet that said Brown and Steph up there with the 9/11 firefighters after this. This is this linebacking core. I think the only person we don't see play is Anzalone. You'd like to see Jack out there getting some reps as the mic, making the play calls, making the defensive assignments, because that is a big thing when it comes to taking over that green dot. If that's what he's going to be doing, is making sure your defensive line is set, making sure they're in the right holes, making sure they know where the play is going, where they're doing, what the strong side is. You need to get your defense aligned as that middle linebacker. So it is mentally a big jump for a guy who it's a much more complex scheme than what he was running at Iowa. So I expect Jack to maybe get some, not a lot, maybe a series or two, but definitely out there for some snaps.
Yeah. Trying to think who else I want to see in the defense, or specifically, I guess, before we go over to the offense.
Anything from the safeties, fellas?
Actually, Mo Norris. Yeah. That's the guy that I heard Justin Rogers say it now. I believe I heard Nolan Bianchi mention it as well. Like Mo Norris made it a lot of – actually, you saw it actually on the highlight Twitter of Detroit Lions. Mo Norris was making plays against the Giants. He's a UDFA that Justin said he's expecting to make the team. So Mo Norris is another guy I'm keeping an eye out for, especially after he kind of was a little bit of a knucklehead this week, caused another fight in the second practice of the New York Giants, had to run laps, and allegedly Dan Campbell pulled him from practice.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to have to make an impact for himself to be on this roster because if you got pulled from practice, you're definitely not you're in the hot seat. Not the hot seat, but just you're in trouble, and you got to make up.
You got to show out, yeah.
Yes, show you belong on the team. Mo Norris, expect him to be balling out tonight, playing with his fucking ass on fire.
He had that massive hit, like that was.
Yes.
It was almost like, God, I talked about it earlier, Brian Branch-esque, like the way that like those shoulders popped on it. That was insane. I mean, kid out of Fresno State. I'm looking forward to seeing him as well tonight. I think he brings some electricity to that back end.
Another question I feel like you bring up on the defensive side is. Now, after the loss of Emmanuel Mosley, it very much felt like that competition between he and Amik Robertson. Now they're talking about working in Afonso Melifonwu, maybe a little bit of Ennis Rakestraw. Well, Ennis is going to be starting on the outside, I'm assuming. Who's going to be the reserve guy for the nickel spot?
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. When you think about it, maybe it is Ennis. Maybe they put Ennis at that nickel spot because that's what he's fighting for to win a starting spot with.
Yeah.
So maybe you want him to get snaps there.
I feel like I saw Mo Norris getting a few snaps there, too, in practice. Maybe that's where you see him most of the game, too. Maybe that's a little bit of punishment. He plays the entire game. I mean, is that punishment? Or, like, he probably wants to play?
If he plays the whole entire game, I think he's going to cause a turnover.
Mo Norris?
Yeah.
I like it.
Just a feeling. Gut feeling there.
Bet on it.
I would if I could, Spenmo.
What's the spread?
Show me the line.
What's the spread for a Mo Norris forced fumble?
I don't know, but the way he came up and closed the gap on that running back, I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I didn't actually feel bad. He's on the other team.
That's probably something to keep an eye on. Who's the secondary nickel at this point now, too. And maybe even, I talked about it on the show before, too, when you guys kind of hyping up Matthew Betts. Not you guys, but the chat, hyping up Matthew Betts. Mitchell Goodyear. The guy at the linebacker spot, also rushing the quarterback, making plays. He's got really long arms. I think he went to the U, if I'm not mistaken. He's been making plays at camp.
Yeah.
And it's a guy that I don't know if he makes the team for sure, but I'd almost chart him ahead of Matthew Betts as of now, just from what I've seen. But it's a guy to keep an eye out for. I think he's number 50, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Probably won't see him until like the second half, maybe second quarter. Mitchell Goudier. Defensive line, obviously, Levi. That's a big one that we haven't mentioned, but that kind of goes without saying.
How do you think he shows up tonight in the spot where now that we all have expectations for him?
I want to see him dominate.
I
want to see him dominate. I want him to look like Sadiq Bey when he was in the summer league. Like, look like a guy that doesn't belong out there.
I'd be willing to bet that he does.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good. I almost would think he'd be like limited snaps because I feel like they're confident in what they've saw in him so far. Josh Pascal out there too, just because he's not here today. Our guy Caleb was not hating on him, but
he was hating on him.
He was hating on him.
He was hating on him.
I feel like out of nowhere.
Caleb, you hater.
Put him on the same level as Matthew
Caleb.
Betts. I was offended for
That
my guy
pizza
Josh.
sucks.
Oh,
no,
wow.
that pizza was really good. Appreciate you, Caleb.
Yeah.
Did you eat the sub last night?
The sub was
good.
Sub
dude.
was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Shout out to Caleb.
It's got a mortadella on there.
Mortadella.
Yes, that was great. Yeah, for Levi, I just think now that the expectations are actually on him for the first time since his rookie year, it feels like I want to see him dominate for 2 series. Boom, get him off the field.
Yep.
Don't play the rest of the preseason. That's what I feel with Levi. I know he does need the reps, but this is a thing. Just show it for a little and then get out of there because he could be a massive piece of this defensive line because, I mean, just the sheer amount of pass rush ability that he had coming out of college. If he can recoup that and turn it into a dominant pass rusher in the NFL with guys like Hutch, with guys like Aleem McNeil, this thing's going to get scary on the defensive line pretty quick.
Talking about Levi? Yeah. And that's a guy everyone's giving credit to from, I mean, we just played the clip of Derek Barnes just talking about the impact of the defensive front with Terrell Williams, and the name he brought up was Levi and Zerike. Dan Campbell throughout the offseason said that Levi was shining the most, although maybe that's a certain point when he said it then. Aleem McNeil looks like he's made a tremendous jump since then too. But, yeah, Levi, again, I don't expect him to play more than a couple series. I think they know what they got. And they got
bitches!
What are we going to face about?
Fucking Chris, dude. All right, let's
Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, they're bums, they're slouches, but like for the backup level, there's some high caliber backups for our defense go against too. So
Drew Lock, former 2nd round pick, right?
Yeah, right.
Big Jeezy fan. All right,
sure, she's a Wandell Robinson.
He's got some
Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt.
And it's Rick Straw.
Jalen
Hyatt.
Some run, yeah. Like to see that. Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's, because awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. And the Ally Challenge.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros and don't miss the party on 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive. And let me tell you about Premier Pet Supply. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences as the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day. Local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Wilson, I love you. I respect you for tapping in with Woodward Heavyweights live here on WoodwardSports.com. Never been a bets guy.
Don't let him gaslight you. He said he's going to get 5 sacks.
No, listen, this is free $25. There is, I remember one specific conversation where I think is more so leaning towards like Houston struggling, and we were just talking about like, is he going to make the roster over Betts? And that maybe that was a conversation.
Yeah.
I never believed in Betts personally.
Racist.
If I said so, it's probably straight up out of fear for Houston, but that's never been a Betts guy. That's why he was the first guy I said today I want to see play, because a lot of you guys are hyping him up. I want to see if it's worth the price of admission.
This could be a little bias here from Lucky in the Woodward Sports chat. Y'all sleeping on safety Brandon Joseph, Notre Dame product. Have you heard anything about Brandon Joseph in camp?
I think he was with the team a little bit last year too.
Yeah, he was a undrafted free agent last year out of Notre Dame.
In OTAs.
He was looking good in OTAs. He was on the practice squad last year.
But I feel like it's been Mo Norris making headlines as a reserve safety.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about guys who've been quiet in camp.
They said I remember Aaron Glenn talking about him and saying that he was making strides and improving before OTA started, but we'll see what happens.
Moving on to the offensive side of the ball, though, I'm going to start off here. Sion Vaki, one of the most interesting picks of the entire 2024 draft. The guy who played safety majority of his collegiate career. At spot, played running back, and it was officially drafted at running back by a guy who's notoriously great at drafting, and Brad Holmes. So that was very interesting. I remember getting back and forth with it when I announced him on Twitter as a running back. People were like, he's a safety. No, he was drafted as a running back.
He was drafted as a running back.
And tonight's the night where you're going to see the reserves playing. Sion Vaki going to be getting a lot of snaps.
You're going to see him a lot for sure. You're going to see a lot of Jamar Jefferson. You're going to see a lot of Sion Vaki out of that backfield. This is a guy who was an explosive player in college when he played running back. He wasn't, getting a lot of run. He wasn't getting a ton of carries, but his yards per carry were near the top of the NCAA last year. So he's an explosive guy out of the backfield. He can receive the ball pretty well as run between the tackles. So we'll see what happens. He's gonna get some run for the Lions in the postseason. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at both positions throughout the preseason, whether that be running back, whether it be kick returner, whether it be safety. He's gonna be playing all over the field in the preseason for the Lions.
I'm so curious how they're going to line up Vaki. I really have no idea how they're going to use him. Like, obviously, you draft him in the 4th round to be something for your team the way Brad Holmes is drafted. This seems kind of like, is he going to be in like a Darren Sproles, like kind of like weird throw him all over the place role? I know he's not that kind of back. Like, is that kind of what you expect? I'm trying to envision it.
He played slot receiver in high school. I can see it, and I think we're going to lean towards more of like a passing game with the running backs a little bit. Like, I don't know if you saw Dave Montgomery had the passing touchdown the other day too. So, yeah, I think you see him run a few routes, and that's probably would expect to be a strength of his, because he also probably, I'm sure he knows how to read a defense. Playing former safety himself. The first day in pads, they did the one-on-ones. That more than just me. I'm sure you guys read him getting fucking blown up by Malcolm.
Yeah.
And he just stopped moving his feet. I think there's a little bit of inexperience at the running back position at this level, especially. But again, Brad Holmes, he knows what he's doing, and I'm excited to see what he saw.
How did he respond after getting blown up?
I didn't see much of him, to be honest. Like, he didn't really make too much of an impact until the next time I went back with Herman and I was on the sideline. He was taking back some kick returns. That's about it.
Yeah, welcome to the league, kid. Malcolm's one of the hardest hitters on our roster, so that's definitely going to wake you up. But we need to see him more. We need to see him in a couple different positions. He's good. I guarantee he gets some slot work, some running back work, some safety work. So we're going to see him. He's going to be splattered around on this preseason. That's what it's for, is to put guys in different positions, and hopefully you get the best out of them.
Yeah, that's what this is for. Is seeing what you have, and I'm glad that you guys pointed to the because we talked about last year with Gibbs was this weapon, and I think that's kind of how Brad Holmes views Vaki as this versatile piece that he can plug and play in different situations, and we're gonna get to see that. So I am excited. I think that was a good one. That was a good one to name, a good one to highlight, because he is somebody that could be that. He could make that one play this season. Like, could he make the Brock Wright Burners touchdown? You know what I mean? Like, can he do that? Those are the things that matter in a Super Bowl season. Like, you need the one play here when you're down a back for a game or for a half. Like, these are the type of opportunities you need for him to step up, and he seems like he's got the versatile skill set if he can get the fundamentals down, like you said.
Yeah. We got another guy, unless you got one you want to get off your chest real quick, Smitty?
Get off your chest.
Jamar Jefferson. This is another guy competing for that same spot. But a guy that Dan Campbell was speaking about him just last week, earlier this week, said, I love him. And went back, said 3 times. 2 more times, just expressing how much he enjoys Jamar Jefferson's camp he's having this year. And obviously, Sion Vaki is a guy you drafted this year. You saw something in him to make the pick. Are you going to I guess, toss aside a guy that's ready to go right now in a Super Bowl window for a developmental piece in Sione Vaki, and how big of a jump did Jamar make? Is it in special teams? Was it as a running back? Like, Jamar Jefferson very much fighting for his spot on this roster this year. I mean, he's done it in the past, too. He's not always been on this roster. He's been kind of floating around the practice squad and grabbing him when we need him.
Yeah, you always hear about him. You always hear about him showing up at practice, being a guy that teammates love, being a guy that the coaches love. Dan Campbell talks about him highly and glowingly whenever he's brought up. We'll see. We'll see. This is a deep, running back team. When you look at bringing in Vaki, having Bam Knight, obviously the two-headed monster you got out there, and Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson definitely needs to go out there and turn some heads. We need to see that physicality that he's known for. We need to see him bust off some big runs, because you're going to be out of a job if you don't impress. There's a lot of running backs fighting for a position on this team. You've got 3 that are already going to make it. You assume Vaki's going to be in there as well. So Bam Knight, I would take over Jamar Jefferson right now.
Yeah. And beyond making the team, too, you're making what could end up being a Super Bowl roster. And who doesn't want to be a part of that journey?
Yes.
I think everyone gets a bonus if you win the Super Bowl, right?
I think you get playoff checks, too.
Let's go, yeah.
He hasn't been making them because he's been in the practice squad. He want to make it.
I don't really have the highest expectations for Jefferson, honestly, so I'm not going to give you too much here. But if you want to make this roster, you're going to have to show out. This isn't a roster anymore where you're taking on guys that, don't show it and don't prove to earn this spot. But you guys had a couple running backs there. I got one for you guys, and it's the quarterback, Hendon Hooker. Should have been a first-rounder, got injured, should have been the Heisman. Should have been a Cowboy down in Tennessee. Hendon Hooker, fellas, this guy has the absolute traits to be a dog in the NFL, and he is our backup quarterback. He has a cannon of an arm. Yeah. He can, scramble away from the pocket, and I think he can make some big-time throws. What are your guys' expectations? I know we said a lot yesterday, but expectations in this game without the starting offensive line.
Spinard?
I need to see him execute. I need to see him reading things well, running the game plan, and making the easy throws. Obviously, we know he's got the arm and the mobility and things that you'd like to see. But before you can tap into that, you need to do what the offense is asking of you. You need to go out there. You need to run this Ben Johnson offense fluently. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers and let them work. A lot of this offense is about timing and putting the ball in the right spot. So first things first, before we see these deep shots down the field or moving around in the pocket, getting out on the run, I need to see him making the easy throws and the checkdowns when stuff isn't there.
I think that's what they're asking of him. That's what they want to see. In fact, and actually, I just sent a clip. I don't know if we're allowed to play it or not because it's. No, we are. We played the clips from Pat McAfee show before too. Shout out Justin Rogers of Detroit Football Network, who was on the Pat McAfee show for the On the Beat segment where they go, with local beat reporters to get the, what's going on, boots to the ground. I think that's what they call it.
Yep.
But regardless, the statements he made is, Hendon Hooker was kind of used to those one-step drops, reads, dumping the ball off, making those beautiful, excellent throws, and now he's being asked to actually read the defense, 3-step drop backs, and we actually have the clip right here. Go ahead and run it, Chris.
Give me a second to cam it, just to be safe.
You're good.
Just to be safe.
Got you.
I guess what I would like to see, I know Spenmo, you do want to see him read the defense and everything. I want to see him what made him like elite when it comes to the traits. I want to see if he still has that kind of speed to get out of the pocket. And I want to see him maybe even first play, little play action downfield. Let me see that arm talent that got you where you are today. Chris?
Yeah, I just want to quickly, before we go to the video, to bring up the point you said earlier. You want to see kind of Ben Johnson, what he does with the mobile quarterback, and I think it's going to be the opposite. I think they just want him to be a pocket passing quarterback.
Did you say mobile?
Did I say mobile?
Mobile
Alabama.
Mobile quarterback.
Mobile Alabama.
I'll tell you what, because we're kind of up against the break. You just want to go break.
Let's go to break and we'll come back to the video.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let me tell you guys about the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Grab your celebrities and golf clubs and head on down to the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour. There's a QR code above my head. Join our force, you fans. And you can join Brilliant Edwards and the likes of Calvin Johnson on the University of Michigan golf course for the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Metro Detroit. Locations are popping up everywhere. Make sure you tap in. They just opened one in Madison Heights. The best chicken in the game, the best pizza in the game, and I'm telling you, these biscuits. I have dreams about these biscuits. I literally had a dream about them last night. So go get some from Soroki's. Find a location near you at Sorokis.com. Soroki's, now that's crispy.
Video.
Go ahead.
Oh, they're going into the video.
Yeah, because I got 3 cams, so.
You said what?
We want to do it just 3 cam?
I don't have my headphones in.
3 cam.
Play it. Yeah.
Yeah, just play it, yeah.
Tonight is the Hendon Hooker show. You know, that is what I think everybody's come to see. You're not going to see a lot of starters in this game because you got the joint practices. The backup quarterback, despite Jared Goff being firmly entrenched as starter, people have been very curious about Hendon. This is going to be his first game. Missed all the preseason last year, coming back from the ACL. And so, you know, people are really excited to see what he's about.
How do we feel? What have you seen from him, and should it look good? And the big part of preseason football, sometimes quarterbacks get knocked for how they perform in preseason football when the wide receivers have no idea what the routes are. The offensive line, how is the depth of this Lions team, and should we get a fair shake at what Hendon Hooker could be as an NFLer for at least a quarter this evening?
Yeah, I'll start with Hendon, right? You know, the mechanics have been rebuilt a little bit coming from Tennessee. A lot of one-step drops in that program. Now he's doing 3, 5-step drops. He's still kind of getting the timing down from the feet to the upper body to, you know, just the mentals of it. So it's been inconsistent, but you see some of these just incredible, beautiful throws that he made in college, and you see how it translates. So it's just a matter of him reaching a level of consistency. In terms of depth, you know, that has been really kind of the thing that's thrust the Lions to the next level. General Manager Brad Holmes has just knocked out of the park through the draft, through free agency, building depth, not just at like 1 or 2 positions, but almost every position on this roster. You look at top to bottom where are the weaknesses on this team, and there are just so few, and I think that's why we're talking about him as a Super Bowl contender.
Feels like a Lions night tonight.
And how could you not be excited, right? This is a 6'4" guy that has your prototypical traits of what we see to be superstars at the NFL level. In college, rarely turned the ball over. Mm-hmm. Lots of touchdowns through the air. Mm-hmm. Never forced himself to run. Only kind of ran what he needed to. Yep. And a lot of times Arthur would run and just extend the play.
Beat Alabama.
He beat Alabama, big bad Alabama. Yeah. You're allowed to be excited about Hendon Hooker. This guy was on the cusp of winning a Heisman Trophy.
What if he was going to be the runaway Heisman winner if he didn't get hurt?
27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions before that injury.
Yes.
Was having a phenomenal season.
The guy was a stallion. Like he was the best quarterback in football when he was before his injury, and you'd like to see that. Obviously, you know, he's took a whole year off, but you put him in there with a great veteran who is in his prime right now, in Jared Goff, who is entering his prime right now. You have him behind him with a great quarterback coach in Mark Brunell, who's been there and done it before. You have a great offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson and a great head coach in Dan Campbell. The support system that Hendon Hooker has around him is arguably the best in the NFL. So I love seeing that. I love, hopefully he's been soaking all of that in, no Mormon, all year, and he'll be ready to go. But this is going to be the Hendon Hooker show. Like I said, no disrespect to Nate Sudfeld. I don't give a shit about Nate Sudfeld in this preseason. We know who he is. We know what he can do. We know how he runs the offense, and we know his strengths and weaknesses. He's been in the league for a while. There's not much he can change about his game. You don't see a career guy who isn't very good just turn into something eventually. Hendon Hooker, this is going to be his first snap in the NFL. I'm extremely excited to see how it goes. I want to see the success. Like Nick said, you know, Microwave Nick, he wants to run a play-action bootleg 60-yard shot first play.
I want it.
I want to see him get comfortable in this offense. Hit a check down. Hit a slant route to Tom Kennedy to start it off, to get yourself some confidence, and then take a shot down the field, and then get him on a bootleg outside and give him a throw on the run, and give the fans something to get excited about. But I just want to see him be comfortable in the offense.
One thing about Hendon Hooker to me, and I don't know if it's fair, and this goes for, honestly, every single player that Brad Holmes drafts, because he turns them into stars. It turns them into at least productive players, even if you're talking late-round guys. He was an early third-round draft pick, and he used it on a hurt quarterback that should have won the Heisman if he did not get hurt. So the expectations I have for him might be a little unfair. But it is because I trust in Brad Holmes. I trust in the way he drafts. And he eyed this guy out. He is too good of a talent to pass up high in the third round. So yes, I'm super excited to see him make his debut tonight for the Detroit Lions. I love that Justin Rogers is talking about him on the Pat McAfee show. He's here. This is the time we've been waiting for as Lions fans to see him since we got drafted. And to go with those 27 passing touchdowns before he got hurt, he had 5 rushing as well. So he knows how to get into the end zone with his feet. Look for that maybe in a goal line situation if they're not covering him with a linebacker.
I mean, this is a guy, and this is the part where I guess disassociated from the Jared Goff fans is I very much still believe that Brad Holmes drafted this guy as a contingency. He took him in the third round while you had Jared Goff, who was on an upward trajectory, and that contract coming up. It just so happened Jared Goff continued to play that way. He's gotten even better, some may say, and Hendon Hooker just wasn't really able to come back to that ACL until late in the year, and even then was still only doing, if I'm not mistaken, like Skelly O reps, as the running quarterback.
Yeah.
So
before we were playing the Ravens.
And this is a guy you love as that superstar caliber. I mean, you love Brad Holmes is what I should say. And Brad Holmes invested this guy in the third round. There's something there. And whether he's a career backup or not, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, you should be excited to see it. And any fan out there that's like, I hope he plays terrible, you're a piece of shit. You should want this guy to go out there and
saying
perform.
That?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Well,
I hope he doesn't do anything. I hope he throws an interception.
Why?
You're a piece of shit if that's how you think. Because this is obviously Jared Goff's team. I don't care if Hendon Hooker went out there and looked like Lamar Jackson 2.0, but with a better arm. This is Jared Goff's team. Like, he is. But you want him to be good. You want him to be a viable backup, and God forbid something happens. So I'd like to see him go out there, and I'd like to see him perform at a high level.
Justin Rogers, again, like while he quote tweeted that clip we just played for the Pat McAfee show, said the best throws of camp this year, even with the broken finger, have come from Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
There's potential there. And
Kid's got an arm, man. Kid's got an arm. He's got a rocket attached to him, and hopefully we can see that happen. You've got some wide receivers that are fighting for a spot.
Mm-hmm.
You got some good talent out there at wide receiver with guys like Tom Kennedy and Antoine Green who are going to get a majority of the snaps. And I can't remember what's his name, the 88, the other wide receiver.
Yeah, Caden Davis.
Caden Davis. You got guys that can make plays. So I hope he goes out there and he has a good showing, because I don't want to go backup quarterback shopping. I don't want that whole argument we had yesterday to be a preseason long argument. I want it to be cemented that Hendon Hooker is going to be the backup quarterback going forward this season.
I mean, even with that, it would still make sense to grab a guy off the market. You can still have Hendon develop and be your QB2, which just gets a personal QB coach. I don't know if Ryan Tannehill's cut off for that job, by the way. He's been very open about
he's
not giving
doing
a shit.
that
Fuck
at
them
all.
kids.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill once said.
Bring Nick Foles home. Bring Big Dig Nick in as an advisor, and put him personally attach him to Hendon Hooker. He doesn't need a roster spot.
Yeah.
Put him on the coaching staff.
And I'm not even no one on this stage or the microphone, Nick included. I don't think anyone's asking for him to take Jared Goff's job. We're excited to see what Brad Holmes once believed in. That's it.
My thing for Hooker tonight is what would your guys' expectations be when it comes to numbers, and what do you need to see, if anything, in this specific game or the preseason as a whole to anoint him as that second team or backup quarterback that you trust?
Like I said,
in a scenario,
I need to see him in command of Ben Johnson's offense. Because if you are in command of Ben Johnson's offense with the backups and the third strings, and Jared Goff rolls an ankle and has to go get his leg taped, and you got to run one series, if I've seen you already in command of the offense with the third string guys, I'm way more comfortable with you behind the best offensive line in football, giving it to some of the best yak guys in football. If he can go out there and drop a dime on a 3-yard slant to Tom Kennedy behind Colby Sorsdale and Yodi, I would feel much more confident in him doing that behind Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow throwing it to Amon-Ra St. Brown if it has to happen. So I just need to see him in control of the offense and making the right decision.
Yeah, and just going back to someone complimenting him, like not us, Lee McNeil. So his delivery, smooth like butter. I think he might get some reps with the second team. Like I think it's very possible that, yeah, you probably start the game with Nate Sudfeld, run whatever you need to run, but like still allow Hendons a few reps with that second team before it's all just the third team reserves, because I think it's only fair if you're competing for that QB2 job and just to see what you truly got in him.
Has that been announced that Sudfeld's going to start this game?
On the depth chart, he's listed as QB2, so I'm assuming he would start the game.
And that came out Monday, right?
Yeah, it came out Monday.
The unofficial official depth chart.
The unofficial official depth chart. And to be honest, like Nate Sudfeld has been outperforming him. Well, I just told you, like the best throws in camp have been coming from Hendon Hooker. They have, but it's inconsistent. He's also had interceptions. He's also had bad reads. Like he's still very much developing in this offensive scheme that we all know is very complicated. And that's before we even throw in extra wrinkles for him as like a runner of the football. So I think he'll get those reps still with the second team just because you want to see what you have in him.
Yeah, I hope he gets some reps with the twos, but I mean, microwave take here. I hope I think he's gonna go for a $150 and a tutty.
I listen.
$150 and a tutty. I'll keep it light with that.
I'm gonna go. I'm not really familiar with New York's defensive reserves at all. I'm not familiar with any other team's reserves for that part.
They spent a lot of money up front.
Let me pull up real quick.
They got a lot of money invested in Brian Burns and Williams, right? Or Floyd? Yeah.
So they got Darnay Holmes, never heard of him. Trey Hawkins III, David Long.
David Long is playing cornerback for them?
Oh, shit. They drafted Tyler Nubin. Remember that kid everyone was hyping up out of Minnesota?
Yeah. Minnesota.
He's not listed as a starter, though, but I mean, he's probably still a dog. Give me, I was going to say 117, because he's splitting the game, too, so I don't know if he's going to get a whole 150. But it's very possible. Give me 117 and a tutty.
No pick?
No pick.
Let's go. Easy's back on the Hooker train.
No, pal.
Come on,
I never
hype
was
him
off.
up. I know. I'm just kidding. Yesterday we just got it.
Oh, yeah. No. I still think you grabbed somebody who fucking can ball.
I'm just gaslighting you.
Darius Fountain showed a picture on his Instagram of him in his room with
in his locker?
No, it looks like his hotel room with pictures or words taped to the mirror.
Uh-huh.
It says make the 50 make the 53, give yourself grace, be consistent, take the wide receiver 3.
Ooh.
What? He put it on the gram?
He put it on the gram.
No way.
I like that.
That's the confidence we need, boys.
I like that.
You know this coaching staff loves the confidence. I like it
Terrion
too.
will play tonight. Terran Arnold will appear against the Giants.
Ooh, where's that coming from?
That is coming from Detroit Sports Podcast. Shout out, Doc.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to think. Oh, yeah. Agent Zero leading them out. We'll play the video when we get back from break. Let's go, baby.
Love that.
Let's go.
I told you the Rook's going to have to play as a Rook. You got to earn his keep around this motherfucker. It's going to be our two rookies probably starting opposite ends of each other. I got to assume so.
go.
Carlos Davis is better of the game, too.
Football is back.
Football back.
Tell us about Swiss.
Guys, let me tell you about Swiss Insurance. So you're dealing with home improvements and some might go wrong. Hit up my guy Mark at Swiss Insurance. It's 313-530-1698. Or you got your vehicle too. He'll insure whatever you got. just give him a call. Maybe appendages like we talked earlier this week. Mark at SwissIS.com or 313-530-1698.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation are included. Also, with a chance to play the championship at Ford Field where the Lions play for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Those are clean. Those unis are clean.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Football's back.
Football's back. Terrion and Ennis, opposite of each other. I mean, that's what you drafted them to be, right?
Yes.
Carlton Davis on a 1-year contract. Get a little sneak preview, and it's not against no fucking cupcakes either. Let's fucking go, boys.
I wonder if the line moved at all with that information about Terrion.
You had it. You sick fuck.
All right, I should leave it.
What was the line?
I don't even know.
You do know. You just asked.
I was looking at lines minus 2.5 at plus 210.
Sheesh. You said plus 210?
Love Birmingham.
At minus 2.5. Lions.
Or minus
2.5. I changed it because I think the Lions come out and win.
Do you want to check real quick?
Yeah, I can check, but I don't really I don't think anyone gives a shit about preseason odds here, so I'm not gonna get deep into it. But let's go,
some
Terry
people
Young.
are weird like that. I ain't gonna lie. And not even weird. I don't want to shame anybody. It's for the love of the game.
Yeah, it is.
You just don't know how long certain people are playing. Goddamn, those uniforms. Now, speaking of debut, Hendon Hooker, now, Ennis and Terry Young, the jersey. Out in Jersey making its debut, too. Fucking love it.
Lions are plus 3.5 and plus 155.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I see it. Whatever, man. I'm here for it. Let's go, baby. Do we want to do our division predictions without Caleb?
No. We'll save it for Friday.
Save it for Friday?
Yeah, he's got to be a part of it. I mean, he could text it in if he wants.
Yeah, he can text it in. That's what he gets.
Yeah.
Damn. Bro bought you pizza and a sub yesterday.
Barely.
He's entitled to the world.
That clip I sent you, was that different from the one Spinny sent?
Which one?
The Justin Rogers one?
It was the same one.
Same one. Wide receiver 3. I guess the other piece of the Detroit Lions competition that we haven't discussed for tonight's game specifically. Obviously, I'm not expecting to see Amon-Ra St. Brown. We did see J-Mo last year. You expect to see J-Mo tonight?
No.
No,
I do not expect to see Jameson Williams at all.
Hard pass.
I fucking hope we don't see Jameson Williams. This one, I'm pressing a little bit. He'll get reps. Khalif Raymond, he plays tonight?
Yeah.
I don't think he'll play.
Probably kick return.
Probably not.
He'll do kick return. Just because it's reps he needs anyway. It's a new situation there. I'm just curious to see who's going to be the other guy. You guys remember, there's 2 kick returners back there now, too. Everyone keeps saying, discussing as if it's one guy. It's 2 of them things.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis and Meek not suited up. JMO not suited up. Shout out to Poole, by the way, sending these things. I got to find out where he's getting this so I get the full list.
Shout out. But talking about that wide receiver 3 position, we just talked about Fontaine, and he has it written on his board or on his mirror, going for that wide receiver 3. The other guys that are going for it, Antoine Green and DPJ, what do you guys expect from that group of receivers in this game? Who do you guys think who do you think shines the most in this game?
I think it's Fountain. Sorry. I do think it's Fountain.
My bad.
I think he goes out there, and I think he proves why he has been that dude in camp. He proves why he has been lighting up defenses, lighting up the Lions secondary, lighting up anybody who lines up against him. Like Darius Fountain has been the third best receiver on this team. And I think he goes out there and he shows why in this first preseason game.
Darius Fountain definitely going to do his thing. The guy I'm curious about, because he took reps with the first team yesterday or 2 days ago, was Caden Davis. Caden Davis is the one that got me a little bit, curious, because I didn't hear his name often until 2 days ago, and he wasn't just getting reps. He got like an 80-yard bomb from Jared Goff. Could have been one of those situations where no one regarded him because who the fuck is this guy? But it's another guy I'm interested in seeing.
I think the thing about Fountain that stands out to me the most, not Fontaine, is Dan Campbell specifically called him out. So I think that's great that he has those messages on his mirror, because he called him out and he said, I need to see more. I need to see it in the game. That's big, especially coming from Dan Campbell to mention you like that. He has expectations for you. Can you meet those expectations? And not just meet them, but exceed them. Mm-hmm. We'll see if Fountain shows up tonight. And we'll see if this line will be able to protect for long enough to see these wide receivers really get a look, because we know defenses are usually ahead of the offense.
Another guy, because you mentioned Dan Campbell mentioning these guys. Well, Carlton Davis, when he hit the podium last week, had made a mention of Antoine Green. That's a guy I had not high expectations for, but higher expectations than we've seen so far. I think he's kind of in the battle, but pretty much just through camp and camp reports, it's been Fontaine and Davis. But Antoine Green is the guy I'm looking forward to. And DPJ, I mean, what is even going on there? That's a big head scratcher, is it not? I mean, he actually saw action last year with the offense and made a few plays. I know he had a big one in Chicago, at least. Has he bounced back because he's the only one with game experience?
I don't know, man. There's just something about DPJ that he just doesn't have it. It was his to take. He was the best on paper. He's had the experience. He's done it before in the NFL, but every opportunity that it's been there for him, he hasn't seized it. And that is something that we know. This coaching staff, they want you to take that opportunity. They need you to firmly grasp it. And and he hasn't been able to do. That's a SpongeBob quote. Relax. And he hasn't been able to do it. So I don't know if we'll be able to see it out of him. I expect Fountain to run away with this, really.
I think one thing that stood out to me about DPJ when we had Nolan on, which I don't even know if it was public knowledge until he dropped it, that he failed the conditioning test.
He did.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that prior to Nolan saying that?
I didn't know that.
I did. I said on the show when it was
sure
him.
you did.
I did. You run the tape back. I said, peep the guys that didn't pass the conditioning test were all guys that weren't at the Detroit Lions training camp last year. And it's all newer dudes, and then DPJ. Although I think Zeitler might have passed. No, I don't think he did either. And it's because Dan Campbell just runs a different type of fucking training camp. You've heard Amon Ross say in his podcast before, shit's harder here.
Yeah, Terrion said it reminded him of Alabama.
Yeah. And Alabama fucking goes hard.
Yeah.
I think with DPJ, we traded for him last year. There's no excuses to this point why he isn't on the same page with Jared Goff. So obviously we're not going to see Jared Goff in this game, but this has been the biggest question mark, I think, of the entire training camp. Is DPJ not being the wide receiver number 3? Is he's not even getting on the roster. And the fact that Brad Holmes traded for him, I know it was a late round pick, but is this the worst trade of the Brad Holmes era since Trinity Benson?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Like a 6th round pick or a 7th round pick?
I'm just messing around. Good vibes.
Easy.
Football's back.
Lucky Belafonte.
He hates Trinity Benson. They got long-standing beef.
Yeah, his people hate me because it kept it real. Guess what? Guess who's here and guess who's not?
Surprise.
Johnson too. Yeah.
Let him cook.
What the hell is Lucky Belafonte says DPJ just doesn't fit this scheme. I feel like he plays very, very similar to Josh Reynolds. So I think he does fit the scheme. I don't know. Is it blocking? I mean, I don't know.
They said he laid a nice block in practice.
Actually, yeah, no, I've seen him blocking in practice.
Yeah.
He was doing really well, actually. Against second team, but still. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe they know what they have in him. They want to see what they got these young guys. Is that? No, because Meek's grinding it.
Yeah. No. I think he's just not jumping at the opportunity to take this role.
I was kind of trashing it. Oh, back to you guys.
No.
I'm getting a weird sound in my mic.
You sound fine to me.
You sound fine.
All right. Well, they said it. We should have traded for Josh Reynolds, and I've absolutely trashed him, probably more than anybody. But do you think like that could end up being a mistake, not retaining Josh Reynolds?
MPWMU says DPJ looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. I just came up with that.
Nice.
First time I ever heard it.
First time I ever heard that. No, I don't like. I mean, Brad Holmes wanted to bring back Josh Reynolds. He said that this was a perfect offseason outside of retaining Josh Reynolds. So that was the one thing that he wanted to do that he didn't do. And yes, I know how much you hate him, Nick, but he played an important role in this offense. Do I think it's life-changing? Do I think it's, fate-altering that we don't have Josh Reynolds? No. I think Josh Reynolds was made by Jared Goff. And I think there's sufficient evidence to show that that's the truth. But it's good to have a guy you believe in, that you trust, but now Goff has he's got two of those guys already. When it comes to third down, he's got 2 security blankets in Amon-Ra St. Brown and in Sam Laporta. So it looks like he's forming a bond with Fountain in practice, and it looks like him and Jameson Williams are on the same page. So, no, I don't think they're going to miss Josh Reynolds very much.
If nothing makes sense, then he's a scheme fit. LOL, blocking is enough in Detroit. It's not. Would I trade for Josh Reynolds? Is that the question you were asking, Nick?
Do you think we'll regret not retaining Josh Reynolds?
Oh.
And Lucky Belafonte, it's not just him not being good for the Lions. He's had one good year of his career and then has never been able to replicate that anywhere he's been.
I'm with you on Mark, though. He will be given every opportunity to make this team because
he
shows he has potential to be something more. I've always thought we'd regret the Josh Reynolds stuff, but we also weren't going to pay him. I know you did.
I was pissed at the time. But.
Yeah, but we weren't going to pay him what he's getting paid over there in Denver. So, I'm happy for him. But, yeah, no, I do wish that I do wish we were able to keep him. What was it, $6 million, $7 million?
I think it was 1 year 6.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't even crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just always at the point where if they really thought he was so critical to this team's success, then we would have retained him. And I think Jared Goff, if he knew or thought he couldn't have the same success on offense without him, he would have planted his foot probably and talked about it to Brad Holmes and said, listen, Josh is a big piece of what we do. We need to bring him back.
She's gorgeous, too.
Yeah. Love this volleyball team.
Yeah. The Brazil versus USA volleyball team going on.
Peak female.
Yes. Regardless, though, comment from the Hat and Beard Show. Sudfeld looks like Goff's little brother with a touch of Downs.
I don't think anything will be funnier than the Giants going from Eli Manning's stupid face to Daniel Jones' stupid face. Tell me you have a type without telling me you have a type.
Oh, Daniel Jones?
Yeah, they just draft dudes that look like their cousins.
Me the fuck out. He looks like there's someone behind you at all times. Yeah, just really working on my game this year.
Yeah.
Is that a guy you want to see ball tonight, or a guy you think you can see ball tonight?
Sudfeld?
DPJ.
I hope so. I like DPJ.
He better.
He's a freak athlete. We've seen him do it before in the league. If he goes out there and lays a dud, he's fighting for, Nick just said, it's not even the wide receiver 3 that he's fighting for. He's fighting for a roster spot at this point.
Bob's Big Boy says, we let Chark and Reynolds walk. Both were big targets and made big plays. We've gotten worse at receiver each of the last 2 seasons, while Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota all reloaded. How you feel about that? I don't necessarily think it's untrue. I don't think it's a big drop, but I
don't think it matters. Truly. I'm more comfortable with our wide receivers this year than I was last year. With Jameson Williams and what I expect him to be.
We have
and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's a complete question mark, though, beyond those two.
I have faith in it.
We have more faith in...
I have more faith in Jameson Williams
is the
producing
team
more.
Or the receiving core? I have more faith in the team, yeah.
I have more faith in the receiving core this year than I did last year. I think Jameson Williams will be that much better.
I don't believe you. But
cool.
I could see J-Mo making that big of a jump where it kind of makes up. I mean, that's all signs point to that. And I get for people that haven't seen it in camp or maybe just need to see it in general who don't want to have faith in that. But J-Mo, just from what I've seen, and this is not even like a highlight play where I just see the difference. One, he does look thicker somehow. He does weigh the same, allegedly, according to him.
Cap.
But he looks thicker. Coming off the line, he's a lot more physical with these DBs, shedding them off versus just trying to run them off. And I just think just the progression in this league that we've seen with this team specifically, I hate like a fucking sound like a broken record, but like we've seen 3-year turnarounds on this team quite often. And he's just probably going to be another example of that.
I think the key to this wide receiver group is just the consistency of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond, and then J-Mo turning into that big play superstar that we think he's going to be, and just has more consistency from him as well. I think consistent is the right word for this group. Khalif Raymond, you know what you're going to get. St. Brown, you know what you're going to get. Can J-Mo become that really key consistent piece that mixes in those big explosive plays? I believe he will. It's yet to be seen, though.
I don't know if I already announced it or not. Meek Robinson's not dressed for tonight, so I think we're going to get an answer for that nickel spot. We'll talk that more when we get back. But first, speaking of a former nickel that's no longer here, probably to contact this guy when he sold his house.
Yeah.
It's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You're gone. Kicked him out of my city. For all you guys that was D-riding him on his ditty. Mark White, do you right. Save you up to $5,000 right now on closing costs of your brand new home. Give him a call today at 248-290-8242. That's 248-290-8242. Or visit him at markwhitesales.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
This is when you run a great business for over 50 years. You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together. Let's drive.
What up, welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, Spin More Rax, young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, previewing the Detroit Lions' first preseason game against the New York Giants. And my question to you fellers, and I guess you could include Hendon Hooker in this too, who do you expect to shine the most out of this most recent Brad Holmes draft class tonight in the preseason game? Terrion's playing, Ennis is playing, Manu, Giovanni Manu's going to be playing, Sione Vaki's going to be playing. Hendon Hooker, this is his first time he's going to be taking snaps. Who's going to shine the most?
Just to check in, I got Justin Rogers posted who's officially playing and not.
Let's go.
So just still double checking a few, but pretty sure the following Lions aren't dressed: Monty, Melifonwu, J-Mo, Khalif, St. Brown, Goff.
I told you Khalif wouldn't dress.
Carlton Davis, Gibbs, Kirby, Anzalone, Rodrigo, Campbell, Aleem, Barnes, Sewell, Glasgow, Decker, Zeitler, Ragnow, Laporta, Wright, Levi, Pascal, Pecco, Hutch. Also, Branch, Davenport, and the injured guys, Mosley, Kaminsky, Reeder, and Mahogany.
Okay.
Levi not playing?
Levi not playing.
Levi Onwuzurike not playing.
Levi,
I told you if he plays, it'll be
Pascal,
like 2 series and gone.
Levi, nor Pascal, nor Pecco.
James Houston, suited up, ready to roll?
James Houston is suited up.
James Houston's going to get 2 sacks tonight if he plays a half of football. Count it.
Oh.
I like that.
Count it!
I expect Ennis Rakestraw to put on a clinic because I don't think they're going to throw the ball towards Terrion at all. I think Terrion's going to be clamping down. So I think Ennis is going to get a lot of balls thrown towards him, and I think he's going to get his hands on a couple of them.
By the way, Pascal.
Caleb's best friend.
Not playing.
Not playing. All right,
Big
Caleb.
piece.
If you're listening at home, you
Yeah.
piece of. No, I'm playing.
Shout out to Poole for sending that. But yeah, that was the list that Justin Rogers put out there.
So you know what? I'll tell you a guy I think is gonna have a big night tonight, and he's not a rookie, but
Who you thinking?
just looking at the guys that are sitting out right, Zylstra. Zylstra been lighting up at camp.
Yeah.
I think he has a 4 touchdown performance or 3 touchdown performance previously with the Detroit
Evan
Lions.
Hennon Hooker, good highlight.
Yeah, that seam. That's what that seam was to Zylstra.
You see Rodrigo, Campbell, and Barnes all not suited up.
Yeah.
So you expect a lot out of
Anza? What?
who's going to be playing linebacker?
Malik Jefferson, Duron something, and there's another kid too.
Germ's not going to play. They're not going to risk Germ.
Germ's going to play. They're going to have to play. I'll tell you right now. Well, maybe I won't.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm looking at the linebackers right now. Hold on. Give me a minute here. All right, I got it pulled up. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Obviously, James Houston. Obviously, Matthew Betts, unless they're just strictly moving him to just the edge. And then the linebacker spot, yeah, it looks like Germ, Ben Neiman, Deron Gilbert, and Malik Jefferson. Which number 52 is
Malik Jefferson, yeah.
I think you guys I think he might make the team. He's been like a special teams demon for Dallas for a while. I think you guys would be pleasantly surprised what you see out of him. Deron Gilbert, I'm pretty sure the rookie.
John Effing Lord says on wax, Betts 2 sacks.
Who?
You said Betts 2?
Betts 2.
I got Houston.
You got Houston.
James Houston has been, kind of getting some words from Dan Campbell here, and obviously they want to see him in the run game, but I think, God, if he can be what he was for those 8 games 2 years ago or a year and a half ago,
Amik Robertson,
it's going to change this team to a different level.
What?
Amik Robertson not on the list of guys that aren't dressed.
Yeah, I said it. He's suited up. He's manning on that nickel spot.
So we got Rake.
Who do you think starts at the outside?
Meek.
It's gonna be Rake and Terrion on the outside.
Yeah, it's gonna have to. That's where they're getting reps.
Yeah.
Actually, Terrion got a few nickel reps.
It's gonna be Rake and Terrion on the outside.
Did you hear me though?
Yeah.
Terrion getting some nickel reps. He played that spot in Alabama. They call it a star, or whatever they call it. Kind of like the Brian Branchlow hybrid situation. Terrion played that in Alabama for a bit.
Do you think he plays outside tonight to start?
Yeah, I think he plays outside tonight.
I think he should.
That's what they expect him to be.
No doubt.
Monty, obviously. Mo Fon, I think that's more of like an injury thing. I think if he had been healthy, probably would have played.
He's injured?
He set out to practice, I think, one day this week or something like that. I could be mixing that up. Or maybe I think of last week. Khalif, I think we already kind of called that one out. But I thought he'd be getting the reps from the kick return for sure. Now, I just don't understand why St. Brown's not playing. No, I'm playing. I guess, who's the biggest surprise on the sitting out?
Probably Pascal or Levi, I would say.
Yeah, probably Pascal.
Or Rodrigo. Well, I mean, we know what Malcolm can do.
Yeah, and he's like a special teams demon, too. He's like for sure an ace. And he actually might got banged up, too.
I mean, so is Germ, dude.
Yeah, I think he might got banged up this week. I could be mistaken.
Big Skip starting a left tackle?
I'm kind of sad no Pascal.
Big Skip starting a right tackle? You think he's going to be...
Skip?
He's going to be on that line.
Manu starting?
Manu and Skip at your starting tackles? I wouldn't mind to see that. They'll probably start Sorsdale at one of the tackle spots.
Oh, Sorsdale. He'd probably be a guard.
They had him listed as your backup right tackle.
Did they really?
Yes.
Wow.
In the official depth chart.
I've been seeing
really?
Yes.
I've been seeing some things about James Mitchell. Do you guys expect to see anything out of him tonight, tight end?
Yeah, I do. I like James Mitchell. I see
like
a couple
James
comments in the chat kind of poo-pooing on him, but I think he's more of like a receiving type. Huh?
That's Sam Laporta. You expect James Mitchell to go for 1,000 yards too? Like,
no, he said people are poo-pooing on him.
Yeah, poo-pooing on him. He's more like not like a true tight end. He's like a guy that come out there and play like that Y spot that Josh Reynolds played. He's probably subject to cut because we're kind of stacked at tight end.
Rodrigo going to make the team right, hat and beard choke for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
1,000%.
Another thing, too, you remember back when Ben Johnson was kind of just talking about this being the best tight end group he's ever been around, the best tight end room he's ever been around. Well, he also mentioned just the versatility, if you will, of certain guys like Shane Zylstra and Brock Wright, because we don't have a fullback on this team, but we do use a fullback quite often in this offense. And I heard Dan Campbell going back to the offseason talking about, you're going to utilize tight end at the fullback position.
Malcolm too. He looked damn good playing. He got a catch. That was hype.
He did.
That was hype. I want to see him get a touchdown, man. He's got hands.
I'm going to catch an interception last year.
Yeah.
Interception, the biggest stage. One of the biggest stage. Closest to outside of, obviously, the...
Dude, those jerseys look so fucking sick. Holy shit.
What do you watch another
I got to send you this picture, Chris.
All right.
Oh, my God. Terrion looks like a demon, dude. Talk about aura.
Mitchell's a blocking tight end and a receiver. No, he's a receiving tight end. Yeah, more than he's a blocking tight end.
Much more.
Mitchell was not kept from the 49ers. You're thinking of
Brock
Wright.
Yeah, we drafted Mitchell.
Yep. Hat and beard show. Make fullbacks great again. Amen, brother.
I mean, as long as it's not, what's his name? Jason Kabinda taking up a roster spot.
Damn, I was kind of hoping you guys would get to see the Levi hype.
Yeah.
Because it's legit.
I'm going to camp. I'm going to camp next week.
But him sitting out, a little bit of confirmation, is not? Who are you going to camp with?
Yeah, it is 100% confirmation.
Sick invite.
He had 2 tickets, so.
Yep.
These jerseys straight up pop.
I know. Do we want to save them for the last segment, or do we want to play them
I'm
now?
not one to like make players my background, but like that's background.
Yeah, show that picture, Chris.
Please.
Dude looks like an absolute dog. No, do it right now.
Bro.
Dude looks like a monster. You want to talk about?
Dude.
You want to talk about aura? Look at that, man. Holy shit.
You're welcome.
Terrion looks like a dog.
Come on, bro. All right, let's go to break. Come back. Might even wrap this thing up early. Let you guys get to the pregame show. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Tell us about merch, Chris.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports merch? Head on over to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab today, and get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab today, and get yourself some brand new merch.
The game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Boys, unless you want to do mailbag,
no.
You should go
Football's
off.
here.
Get in that pregame segment.
We're going to get our shit set up in there. I'm going to be watching some football here. Appreciate you guys tapping in.
Love
Smash
you guys
that
tapping
like button.
in.
Love
Smash.
you all. For Easy, for Nick, for Chris, I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Go Lions!